Korea's exports have finally made a turnaround, snapping the record 19 straight months of decline. For more on what could be the start of a new momentum for the country's exports, we turn to our Kim Min-ji.
It's a rise for the first time in 20 months. The Trade Ministry says Korea's outbound shipments rose an estimated 2.6% in August from a year earlier to $40.1 billion. After falling for 19 straight months since January of last year, the turnaround provides a glint of light for the country's exports, once the economy's main pillar.
We saw a rise in the number of workdays, the strongest performance this year in chips and petrochemicals, which are part of the 8 key export items that saw growth. Unit prices also shifted to positive gains of 6.1%.
In terms of the country's 13 key export items, outbound shipments edged up 1.7% last month from a year ago, in stark contrast to the 12% fall in July. Exports of semiconductors, petrochemical products, and flat panel displays also hit their highest monthly value so far this year. Imports also rose just slightly, but for the first time in nearly 2 years. Inbound shipments edged up 0.1% to $34.8 billion. That means a trade surplus of $5.3 billion, extending the surplus streak for a 55th straight month. While expected improvements in unit prices and volume for key items paint a rosy picture for the latter half of the year, downside risks do linger.
An interest rate hike in the US could trigger capital outflow in emerging markets. That's a concern as those countries make up about 60% of Korea's total exports. A prolonged strike in the country's auto industry will also put a dent in outbound shipments. On top of that, global demand still remains sluggish, with more countries turning to protectionism.
In light of those uncertainties, experts say Korean firms need to make continued efforts to bolster their competitiveness.
To do that, companies are urged to keep investing in R&D to create new products and boost their brand image. They're also advised to make use of free trade deals and Hallyu, or the Korean wave, to keep exports growing. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.